my name is Beck, and you, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And this is a review of the very, very recent. I can't believe I listened to it so quickly. The recent Big Finish release, The End of the Beginning, the end of the main range, and listen, it's probably the best one in the main range they've done in a couple of years, and I really mean that. Probably the best one. Is it any good? Not really. It's not bad. It's kind of missable. Which I find a lot of big finishes becoming now. It's very skippable. So yeah, listen, it's not a recommend, but still better than anything we've heard from the last couple of years. I'll be going into it in much more detail. Well, that's kind of the point of a review, is I'm going into it in much more detail in a second. Before we get there, can you hit the like button? Freaking awesome. Thank you very much. And that, of course, is even if you don't like it, or yeah, even if you super like it, just hit the like button once. That's all I can do for you. Hit the share button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm telling you, YouTube is doing whatever they can to keep me away from 2,900 subscribers. I'm tantalizing close, and I get further away. Then I get like, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. Thank you very much. Again, it's cost you nothing, and it's like makes me ridiculously happy. Like it really does, absolutely ridiculously happy. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. So, Rabbi, your insights on Big Finish and life in general are truly unique and wonderful. Yes, I know they are. I agree with you. Yes, they are. That sort of thing. That sort of comment will be good. And also, listen, if you want to be really nice, really nice, go check out my Indiegogo. And it's in demand on Indiegogo, which in demand means the campaign's over, but you can still buy it. The reason the campaign's over, I clicked the wrong button. But I still got, and people are still backing around. This campaign is closing out in 30 days. 30 days on the holy day of Yom Ha'atzmaut. That's the Israeli Independence Day. The campaign is closing. Will not be able to buy it anymore. Two freaking awesome graphic novels. Imperium, a love letter to telefantasy of the 1960s. That's 105 pages long. It might be longer by the time we go to fulfillment. And biblical Bible stories, the atheist, creationist, rationalist, and rogues. It's 220 pages long. It's kind of like one of the early Vertigo books. So if you get both books, you get a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Both books are still on sale. You got 8 left. 8 left at the $40 sale price, and it goes up to $45. I'm sorry, that's the best I can do for you. So if you get both books, of course, you get a whole bunch of stuff. You get the For the Male Gaze cards, the series of cards. I don't know how much. They're going to be at least 5. I'm hoping there'll be 10 by the time we finish it. Very, very tasteful art cards. Yeah, based on my 12-year-old titillation. So we have Keep the British End Up. We have Party Like It's 1999. We have Don't Even Think It's Citizen. And yes, you know I am thinking it. We have No Hanky Panky in the TARDIS. I'm actually thinking of making these into temporary tattoos as well. Wouldn't that be cool? If you guys want it, I'll do it. And of course, we have I'm Sensing Strong Emotions, Captain. Plus, we have a couple of posters, big A2 posters, 18 by 24. Bohemian Time and Space, and the Eyes Have It. And here's the rough design for the third one that's being done right now. I don't know what we're going to call this one. I have to see it first. But anyway, again, hopefully we'll raise enough money that everybody gets everything. If not, it's like an add-on for like, was it $3? I think $3. But look at this component. Isn't that freaking great? Absolutely fantastic. You know what I can't say is absolutely fantastic, I'm afraid. It's the beginning. Was it the end of the beginning? It's not terrible. It's not. But you know what? It's terrible. Look at this cover. Right? Look at this cover. What's wrong with Paul McGann's hair and his? I don't know, what's this bit called? It all looks kind of wrong. It looks kind of weird, doesn't it? I don't know. It's okay. It's written by Robert Valentine. It's reasonably underwhelming. It's trying to reflect the structure of the first release, The Sirens of Time. So I'm just kind of sad that now I finished listening to this, I think they've missed a massive opportunity to revitalize this range for the final year. They could have spent the last year making a celebration of this main range, because there's been so much that's happened in it, with so many companions that we've been introduced to, so many situations, and they could have revisited. I mean, I understand, some of the actresses are not with us anymore. Evelyn, what's the name of the actress? She's not with her, but you could have had Colin Baker visiting her grave, or you could have gone to visit the Ford. There's a lot of things. So the 12 releases leading up to this could have had little parts like referencing something in the previous, what was that, 163 story. That's enough stories to be working. Again, make it a real celebration of the main range, because it's something to celebrate. This is something that I think really saved Doctor Who to a great extent. It's just so sad it outlived its function, outlived its function, and I think the people at Big Finish just were bored with the range and they kind of let it go. Which again, I'm really I think it just shows. It shows from what happened. So anyway, what they could have had is like build up a villain and build him up and build him up and have this be the final release. Instead, we got a whole bunch of stuff they built up in this release alone from nowhere, and consequently, it felt underwhelming. It felt reasonably underwhelming. Certainly not the best of the Port Mario releases, where they have the 4 individual stories. But again, I want to reiterate, better than anything we've seen for the last couple of years. So the 4 stories we have, and sadly, all written by Robert Valentine. He's okay, but he's not great. But we should have had the greats from the reigns coming. Wouldn't it be great to have a Robert Sherman story again? They could have done so much, and it's really just frustrating. So the first part is a Fifth Doctor and Turlough stories. I do like that bromance. All that last one they did was dire. It was really dire, was it? I can't remember what it was called. I'm just glad. I'm glad the main range is over. So this is kind of a bit of a desert-bound romp in the 19th century. You got like an evil English colonialist on a treasure hunt, and the basic idea is kind of like the Key to Time, sort of, that each part has a different Doctor picking up a different part of this memory crystal thing that leads them somewhere, and somebody is looking for them at the same time. Again, this really would have worked. They build it up over a year, build it up over one disc, not so much. So it's a kind of Lawrence of Arabia type story. Not bad, but it ends up there's a character in it who is the last of the Death Lords, who's going like picking up all the Doctors and companions at the throughout all these ones. Well, not all of them, just these 3 actually, and they do play. It seems like he's going to be a villain. They turn that around towards the end. So that's the first part. Second part is Flight of the Black Star. That's a Colin Baker, Miranda Razor, that's Constant Clark story. And they got in it. Oh, what's the name of it? I'll look on the cast list. They got in it. They brought back Calypso Jones. Calypso Jones is, of course, one of the many, one of the gazillion female kick-ass, gender and sexually fluid, was it bounty hunters or something? Lovable rogue sort of things that we have in the Big Finish world now. That's basically all they have. That's everything. That's the only type of bounty hunter they have now. So it's another romp. They're looking for a stolen thing. It's kind of cool. You deal with like sci-fi organized crime, and you have like robots, robot gangs. All that really worked. All that was really kind of fun. Again, but it's just disposable. And that's really the shame. The entire main range became missable or skippable or avoidable. Right? You buy ones you should avoid. And again, we've really got to underscore that this was revolutionary. This was something that was really absolutely fantastic when it started. I guess 20 years is enough time for anything to droop away to nothing. The third one is called Night Gallery. I think it's probably the best of the 3. It's a Paul McGann and Charlie Pollard story, which again, that's why I thought, well, why not? You could have done a McGann, Charlie Pollard one. You could have done a 5th Doctor Eramen story. There's so much. They're just like, I don't care. And that's really the overwhelming vibe of the 3. But fair. Who cares? Night Gallery was, again, quite a good McGann story. He's once again in 1999, I think it's New Year's Eve, 1999, he's in London. He's there to meet a vampire, to make sure the vampire's not going to be vampire-y. And turns out to be another vampire around where they go on a vampire hunt together, dealing with like the London art scene. This I think is probably the strongest of the 3 individual stories. Really nice, poignant ending. This bit I really like. But basically, everybody comes together in the final story, The Lost Moon, which deals with, it's basically a plot that's been put into place by one of the Doctor's old teachers, who again never heard of before, no connection to, don't really care. He turns out to be a generic cardboard cutout villain, and the person you thought was the villain turns out not to be so much. And then, it just ends on an underwhelming tone with, let's go and have more adventures! It was just like, okay, listen, you know what it's like? Well, you'll find this out when you get older. If you're fortunate enough to get an erection over the age of 50, if you're fortunate, unaided by pharmaceuticals, what you basically end up doing is just kind of massaging it back to sleep. Nothing really wild happens. That's basically what you just, Coach Luffy. Yeah, that's basically what happens. That's what the main range is. Okay, it's an erection that's just been like gently massaged back to sleep, because that's really what it is. Main range is over. Let's read the blurb for it. The universe is in a crisis state. Didn't really feel like that. Facing destruction from the results of a strange spatio-temporal event. Yeah, none of this stuff. I mean, this sounds better in the blurb than it was on listening to it. And the Doctor is involved in 3 different incarnations. Blimey, this is so much better than the story I heard. Each caught up in a deadly adventure. They weren't deadly. They were like mediocre adventures scattered across time and space. Finally, we get to a point in the blurb where they're telling the truth. That's true. Scatters across time and space. The whole creation is stressed, and they mention that once or twice at the end. And someone is hunting the Doctor. The 3 incarnations must join together to confront their implacable pursuer. But in doing so, will they unleash an even greater threat? Oh man! If only the production could have met that blurb, because it really didn't. It really didn't. There was just no. There's very, very little excitement about it whatsoever. So yeah, listen, skippable, not bad, but very, very skippable. Today, they just also dropped the the Revenge of the Cyberman Tom Baker story, the one from the original was a Kip Pedler script, the Lost story, where they got Liz Sladen's daughter playing Sarah Jane. And here's the weird thing. They're super into it, because I've spoken to people at Big Finish, and it's one of their favourite things they've ever done, right? They have, what is her name? I can't remember her name. Not Daisy. Oh, I can't remember. Whatever her name, but they were saying, oh, she's great, she's perfect. And they were genuinely excited. Doesn't sound at all like it. Sounds more like Liz Shaw, right? So it really sounds a lot more like Liz Shaw than Sarah Jane. I'm only about 20 minutes into the first episode, so I can't. It seems pretty similar to Revenge of the Cybermen. Anyway, that's a much more interesting release to get than this one. Totally skip it. It's totally skippable. You know what? It's ending like main range is ending the way the main range has been run for the last couple of years. As a non-event, non-entity. So there you go. A bit sad. The main range is over, but boy, it should have been put out of his misery a couple of years ago, in my mind. My name's Felix Beckett. Do you rabbi from another planet? Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.